Before we get into it, I just wanted to talk to you, the viewer, about the sub goal that I've set for myself this year. I want to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year, and according to my YouTube analytics, just under 3/4 of you aren't subscribed when you watch my videos. So if you could please click subscribe and help me get there, that would be so very much appreciated. If you don't watch my videos, that's fine, but it would help other people who want to watch my videos come and see my channel because it helps me up in the algorithm. Thank you guys. Let's get into it. Hey guys, my name's Zero, and thanks for taking time out of your day once again to come back and watch another one of these videos. It feels like I'm making apologies basically constantly at this point, but this time it's a very good reason, I promise. I haven't been uploading long form videos super recently because of university assignments. Because it is unfortunately that period at university where the assignment tasks just ramp up and go absolutely crazy. And this one, ever since, well, the one that's been keeping me busy ever since I uploaded last is an annotated bibliography. For those of you who know what that is, for those of you who don't, it will be on the screen just here. Yeah, that's 1,600 words right there. A whole lot of research, a whole lot of headaches, and tearing my hair out. But anyway, we are back once again with the Focke-Wulf D-9, 190 D-9, I should say. This is done in place of the D-12, but they are pretty much almost identical, with the exception of one key difference that makes a little difference, which I will touch on in a bit when we get to the flight performance. This vehicle was requested by Ghost, who is the amazing editor of the Zero Mustang TikTok channel. If you haven't seen that, do check that out. He's been doing a very good job being able to edit when he can, for free as well, which is just absolutely spectacular and just amazing. Thank you so much, dude. I know I keep saying that, but here it is one more time. And if you want to request another vehicle for me to look at the moment, I'm doing a War Thunder review series where I'm going aircraft, tank, aircraft, tank, aircraft, tank. Just put it down in the comments or join the community Discord server with the link in the description and, well, write your suggestion. So anyway, the Focke-Wulf 190 D-9 is a 5.0 aircraft in the German tech tree at rank 3. The aircraft that you researched just before going to rank 4 in the line, second from the left. It's how can I say this? It is definitely first and foremost an energy fighter. That's probably where this thing shines the most. You're not gonna do well in a turn fight. There are a lot of things that will outturn you, like the Spitfire, Zeros, and Yaks, and sometimes even American planes if the other players are good and you make a couple of mistakes. Turning performance isn't super bad, however it gets worse as you lose speed. The optimal speed range for this plane would probably be between 330 to 400 kilometers an hour. That's where you get the most out of its turning performance. If you drop the flaps below, I don't know, a certain threshold, that slipped from my mind, unfortunately. You're able to complete the turn faster, but do not turn these on in a sustained turn rate. You will bleed speed faster and your turn time will become worse. Its max speed is 710 kilometers an hour, but you won't overspeed. Your wings won't start fluttering until you go way past that. That's 780. I think I've topped over 800 before. That is in a dive with weapon. This thing won't hit that speed on its own. You need gravity to help you out with that one. Rate of climb, 15.8 meters a second. Turn time when spaded, this is all when spaded, is 20.4 seconds as opposed to I think 22.5 before getting all the modifications. So in terms of flight performance, reasonably well, but as I said, you need energy to do so. And how can you get this energy? Well, this thing also has a very, very, very good engine. It's capable of easily climbing to 4,000 meters at the absolute minimum if you manage to keep your speed up. This thing can maintain a climb angle of 20 to 15 degrees. You will be able to climb relatively quickly and you will be able to get to altitude just as fast. Although That being said, you try to climb to altitude, and you got to be very careful of the opponents that you'll face, because other props are able to climb to that altitude with you. They will be able to contest you, and because no one really climbs to altitude, you will be all on your own. So you're going to need to do really, really well with target prioritization, target selection. You need to be smart with who you play, because if you miss a shot, or if you mess up a play or anything, and you run past the Spitfire, chances are he will turn around and he will probably catch you, and so you dive out and you lose all your speed and altitude. You get the picture. So side climb after the start, just be really smart with things. As you can probably see in the background clips, this thing's roll rate is actually tremendous, especially during that optimal speed range of about 330 to 400 that I mentioned before. When in a dive, you want to throttle down a little bit, because you want to get past at least, well, I want to say 550 to 600 before the control surfaces start compressing. And then it makes it really difficult to roll and hit your enemies, like you can probably see on the screen. That guy was rolling around, but, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, so the difference between the D-9 and the other variant that is later on in the tech tree, the D-12. They're both the same battle rating, different rank. The D-9 is rank 3, as I said before. The D-12 is rank 4. Same airframe, same engine. The only difference between the two is that the D9 has, I believe, 213 mils and 220 mils. The D12 has 220 mils and a 30 mil all in the nose. Now that adds quite a lot of weight onto the airframe in the front. It weighs the plane down quite substantially. So even though they are the same battle rating, I would go for the D9 if you ask for my preference. If you didn't, you're getting it anyway, because, oh well, lol, you clicked on the review. Anyway, whatever. I would go with the D9 because the 20 mils and the 13 mils still hit pretty hard. You don't need the 30 mil to do damage to the enemy aircraft, and the D9 set of guns is actually easier to aim anyway, because the ballistics are better. The D12 gets the Mark 108, which is the slow 30 mil, meaning that if you want to hit someone reliably, you will need to pretty much like barrel stuff them and shotgun them. But it's up to you. I mean, I would try both out. You're gonna have to play the D9 if you want to advance down the Focke-Wulf line. You won't have to play the D12 because it's in a folder with another FW190 that I have forgotten the designation for, but here we are. I usually run 20 mils and, well, I think it was air targets for the 20 mils because of the Meninga around, and I think it was either universal or air target belts. I'm going to have to double check. You can check that in the description for the 13 mil machine guns. Min fuel, obviously, you want to have as much weight as possible. You can survive a match with 13 minutes, but I would honestly add in an extra 2 minutes, because sometimes the matches drag out for longer and you want to try and save yourself from going back to the airfield as much as you can. This will force you to adjust and play your tactics accordingly, because, I mean, well, you should already be doing that, because as I said, this does not really play into the hands of too many players that play this game, I want to say, given that from what I've seen, most people turn after the planes as soon as they run past them, or if you're a new player, you just boom out and you fly away. This plane is mostly for those people, but you also need to know how to use energy in a turn fight and energy traps if you get into that situation. Overall, I'd say, for my opinion, I'm sure there are people out there that love playing planes like this. Absolutely no doubt. And it is a great plane. But I have said before, and I will say again, that I do not like playing German vehicles. Why? I don't know. They don't resonate with me as much. I am a little bit more of a turn fighting vehicle. Although, you know, energy fighter with a good turn rate is actually not terrible. This plane just feels a little bit too rigid in its turning performance, and a lot of things that I face can't really compete with this thing. My experience with this, I think I had over 3 hours of footage. accumulated from this, because there were so many times where I got up tiers and I got absolutely shat on. There were down tiers where people were getting lucky shots, and most of the time, for some reason, whenever someone fires a burst, the first place that it hit was my engine. So, with these words, just take them in mind. If you have anything else that you want to add to the discussion, please by all means put them in the comments. Again, let me know if there are any other vehicles that you want me to revise. And as I clean up this Spitfire right here, without further ado, let's get into the gameplay. And here is game one. Now, I just wanted to let you know that most of the games here are, one, not in order, and two, not complete games, because some of them have a little bit more flying around than others. But we start off the gameplay narration segment with cleaning up an LA-11 that was just flying away from me for some reason. I have no idea why. Bro just thought he was like that. Yeah, nobody. Anyway, so we go head on with an A6M. He flies past me. Neither of us hit our shots, so we fly on and continue onto this Yak 3. Now, why did I continue onto this Yak 3? Well, because he was heading straight for me, and if I had tried to energy trap the A6M5, he just absolutely would have cleaned me up, so it was really no question there. So instead, I'm continuing on with the Yak 3, seeing if I can hit a shot, try and get him out of the match, or give him something to think about. And, well, we crit his wingtip, so he's going to head back to the airfield just here, and now we can focus on energy trapping the A6M5. The A6M5 boomed past me, he did a 180, he dropped some altitude doing a split S, and now he is at a very low energy state, while we are at a very high energy state, and with an engine that will support the maneuver that we are completing right here, which is an energy trap. He has no energy, meaning absolutely zero possibility he's going to be pitching up after us here, so we just drop the flaps as we stall it in our loop. We pitch down, he tries to turn underneath us, but he has no speed, and we just blow off his wingtip, and continue down and fold up the flaps. That is how you defeat a zero, for those of you who are stuck and don't know how to fight in anything other than a turn fight. Yak 3P comes in, I think we take his wing off for real this time, and, well, you know, the game ends, we don't die or anything, because that would be absolutely ludicrous. Awkward. Anyway, B26 flies in front. We miss all our shots. We almost hit our teammate. In hindsight, probably shouldn't have done that, but instead he flies past, and we just absolutely hose him down. Extremely satisfying kill that. I actually am still satisfied just by watching this clip back in the replay, and we continue on straight and keep on flying so we can reset our position and our energy state in order to engage the next targets. We have a P51, a P47, I think that's an F4U, I don't know, the screen's really small, but we decide to turn left over them. We have height and energy advantage on all of them, and so we are going to use that in just a second here as we let the battle fester and let everyone get occupied and distracted by the dogfights that they are about to get themselves into. We're going to turn over to the left here. We're eyeing up this P51 and the Spitfire. The Spitfire is directly below us, but that would be an awkward angle, especially if he turns underneath us, and we would sacrifice a lot of altitude for nothing. So we're going to go for this P51 here, because I don't think he sees us. He's flying dead straight, and he pitches up to our teammate, which means that he loses a lot of energy here. Now, our teammate lost the head-on because he took the fight against the P51, and the P51 would have gotten away for it too if it wasn't for that meddling 190 which sprayed him as he turned inverted in a very predictable split S. We absolutely hose him down and send him straight back to the hangar. I'm pretty sure our teammate returns to the airfield too, but I haven't double checked that, so I like to think that he did, and his pilot was able to go home and have a very Merry Christmas with his friends and family, unlike most of the other pilots that die daily in this game. There's an XP50 in the distance here, so we're going to continue onwards and upwards and help out this 264. I'm going to cut out a bit of this because it is going to be flying for quite some time to catch this guy. That was about maybe 4 minutes that I cut out there. And just in time, as this XP50 wings over, tries to get the drop on me. Now, if I didn't hit that shot, I would be dead. There is no other way around it. That XP50 turns so much better than I would. Basically, the only way that I would have been able to defeat that guy in a dogfight is to outroll him. and I don't really fancy my chances with that because we are at altitude and we both have altitude to burn, but I guess we'll never know because where we are now is a pretty good place. We are just going to fly around for a little bit here, and while we're flying around, I just want to take a second to talk about other potential options that you could fly instead of flying this. Now, we do see the F6, F5 on the deck, and we decide to go for him next, but I want to take a second to mention the 109s. Now, again, I don't like playing Germany, but I have gotten better, I want to say, at playing the 109s, and I do say that I like playing the 109s more. Their roll rate is significantly worse, but they turn much better, and their controllability just seems a lot easier and less rigid. So if that's something that you fancy, then I would definitely go for those instead of the 190, but still give this a try. Anyway, we boom out of the heavens, and we absolutely rinse this F6F. He does not see us coming, and a Spitfire pops up. Now, here's something else to take in note as well. Sometimes you don't have to rush the kill and go for the shot because you don't actually know what the state of the enemy is at that present moment. A little bit of foreshadowing here. The Spitfire goes head on. He commits to the head on, but he doesn't shoot. Why is this? Well, in my head, it's either he didn't get a good shot or he's run out of ammo, which is really unlikely. So right now, I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's test this theory. So I put down the takeoff flaps, I roll in behind him, and I dive a little bit lower so that the angle that we cut in isn't as steep. We get a shot, we graze his wingtip, but he's dodging. He's not wanting to go all in as players usually do. And this kind of affirms in my mind, okay, this guy could very well be out of ammo. And seeing this right here just kind of affirms it for me here as well. He decides to try and run and then turn in when he sees me coming, and I mean, it's pretty much a done deal. He's on the deck, he has no energy, I have all the energy in the world, I'm going 500 kilometers an hour. He will not be running away from me anytime soon. And the last two guys were B-17s, they just went and landed on the airfield. They never took off, I think they J'd out. That's just the end of the match. We miss out on Talisman, but here are the rewards, and here's the next match. So here we are again. We are flying on the new volcano. Well, not new anymore, but like the volcano map. Can't remember what it was called. Is it Kamchatka? I think? I don't know. Whatever. Minor details. LA7 goes head on. He's climbing. We are diving. We are going roughly the same speed, but because we are a higher altitude than him, we have more energy to work with. And so, we both do a 180, but he does a 180 horizontally after climbing, and we do a 180 vertically after diving. We still have way more energy, and we create further distance, which means it gives him more distance that he has to take to pitch up and get a better shot. We just capitalize on this, we use all this energy, and as you saw about 5 seconds ago, we completely dismantle his plane while it is still airborne. And we are now the highest person on the map. So who do we go for next? We go for this P-47D. Next logical step, he is the next lowest person on the map. He is going for my teammate, completely just not aware that I'm there. So we just hose him in the back of his head and turn his plane into a fireball. We go for this IL-10. He has the potential to change the map by bombing the ground targets, bombing and strafing the ground targets. So he goes head on with my teammate, and we just send a burst into him and saw his wing off. I mean, it's just kind of playing with your food at this point, I guess. And we've got 4 enemies over here that we can capitalize on very, very shortly here. It's a 4v1. Just with those guys over there, it will soon be... Actually, no, it is a 4v1 now that I'm here, now that the Spitfire, the Israeli Spitfire below me is here. It was a 2v4, but one person's on the airfield, and 3 of them were airborne. P-51 gets a good burst into one of my friendlies and sets him on fire, but I'm not very worried because I have energy over him, and the other Spitfire just takes him down. And so we're going to go for this LA7 here. This P-51 is running back to his airfield. That other Spitfire is giving chase. Not sure what this LA7 is doing, but he's airborne, and if he's airborne, it means he can cause trouble. So we're going to dive in pretty handily here. We're going to drop the throttle so we don't compress, or don't compress as much as what we could. We're just going to slot in. He doesn't even try to maneuver until last second. Not sure why you're doing that, mate. But we just take his wing off. Not sure why that's not a severe, but we still take his wing off, and into the ground he goes. So we're looking around. Another P-51 dies in the background, which leads another P-51 in the distance. He is heading straight for this Spitfire. This Spitfire is saying, cover me, as if he doesn't have the capabilities to take on this man himself. But sure, whatever, bro. We'll just go head on and just take his wing smooth off. That is kill number 5, I do believe. Yeah, no. Kill number 4. Damn, I really thought it was 5. Oh well. Kill number 4. Here are the rewards again. And here is the bomber. And that will be the end of the gameplay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was comprehensive enough for you guys. And for now, I will see you later.